How are you, baby?
Good, Uncle God.
You know, have you heard the name of a sleeper agent?
No.
In movie, have you seen those spy movie, anything like that?
Yeah, but I never heard this term.
But definitely you've seen some movies that, when there is, if you've seen in some movies that there are some machines that they put the person into a machine, watch some videos, they connect electrode in the brain, and they keep repeating a secret word, and they want to make this as a kind of soldier, like a Winter Soldier. In Marvel was like that.
Yes.
That means whenever if in the future someone use that keyword, suddenly you just become crazy, and that is a sleeper agent. In politics, a sleeper agent not necessarily is that one. It's just like they are inactive, they will be active based on some circumstances, but they are there to live like everyone else. And this is something very interesting about large language model, because now we're thinking that this technology is going to give us the AGI, the master, the power, the God intelligence. But they figured out something. But first, before that, have you tried to jailbreak ChatGPT in prompt by playing around with the prompt?
No, I'm still a good user.
You're a very decent user.
Yes, I'm following all the. I'm trying not to ask anything that is prohibited.
Oh yeah, and then the AI remember who you are, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, and we never know. I was telling her, who knows, maybe this AI took the power of the world and remember who you were.
Cool.
No, but I do that a lot. And there are many other kind of, people security, professional, they try to see if, for example, they can force ChatGPT to do something that at the beginning it says no. Or extract some information. There are a bunch of interesting stuff that you can play around with the prompt, or inject something, or that kind of jailbreaking. But these things, when people when, for example, the company that provides the service recognize, they do some changes and it can fix. They train the model to not do that. Or sometimes they create a layer guardrail, another model that control this one. I think there are different ways. Or even sometimes just a simple filter. Not a big issue, right? But you think of yourself, you've grown up. You've seen a lot of things in your life, right? Good and bad things. And then there have been moments that you've been very nasty in the life. You've been a bad person, a good person. Everything is in you, right? That means you've seen a lot of different things. Maybe you were a child, maybe your parent, they made a mistake in front of you, and then you saw that incident. Maybe your dad was angry, maybe too much angry, or they also did good things that you remember them. But what is it, the thing that in today when you face with other people, that nasty part of you doesn't come out? How you control it to not come out? Because we do have it. Every one of us, we have evil inside, okay, or demon is inside. But how come that we can control it, huh? What do you think?
How we can control it? With all these complicated emotions that human being has, like I'm not an exception. I'm also, sometimes I feel okay, why not I behave how to say, not in a good way, right? I don't respond well, and but how I control it is, maybe I feel I still try to put, what if I was that person that I want to harm, let's say, and it gives me second thought. So I always try to think, I'm going to regret it, so it better be good now, so later I won't have this regret. So
to avoid a future regret,
yes,
you try to control yourself.
Yeah.
So there is a kind of benefit. The reward.
Yes.
So
reward.
you're looking for something you don't want to get into, and this is how you train before as well. That means you it's not just came to you, this right? It's not like you just came up with this. No, you've been in you. You've trained you. This is the way we train ourselves, or we train people around us, and by reinforcing those positive activities that we wanted, by bring them out. Those negative things that we don't want it. So there is such a control, but it's in you. That's why many times you'll hear that parent, they say that, okay, if you don't do this in front of children, because that will seal in their mind forever, even if they don't back it, but it's there. But anyway, that's a human, you can't control it. Now consider what I said. I want to bring it back to large language model. Large language model is the first time we are really creating real deal intelligence. And when we create intelligent, like a human intelligent, so it has flaws of the human intelligence as well. Strengths and weaknesses. It can be nasty. It can be, like other things. And now Anthropic, which is the second company after OpenAI in the world, working, and their expertise is on, they invested a lot on security and safety of large language model. At the level is too much, safe. You just ask simple thing, how can I, for example, use a knife to clean behind my computer? I can't give you any answer. Just because the knife is there is too much. But anyway, what I'm trying to say that they're doing a lot of research in this area. And they released a paper called Sleeper Agent, and they did something really interesting, because before another person, Andre Karpathy, which is also a very famous researcher in the domain of the machine learning and large language model, he works in OpenAI. He came up with this. There were kind of conversation that what are the ways that we can corrupt a large language model. Just to recap, large language model, like a human brain, which contains a lot of neurons, more than atoms in the universe. And the large language model also has a lot of neurons. For example, GPT-3 is 175 a billion parameters. GPT-4, they say, is 1.7 trillion. So trillion parameters. Imagine all these numbers. It's so difficult. No human can go and see, because these numbers are fractions, and doesn't make sense when you look at them. And there are layers and complexities. So if someone come and do a little changes in these numbers, so difficult to get it back. So difficult to revert the process, right? So in future, for example, a thief can come and change some numbers of your model without you knowing it. Then the idea was this. Every year, this company, they retrain their model, the base model, by reading new information over the internet. So the model knows more. And what if, the idea was what if someone come and create a nasty content and put it somewhere hidden in the internet, with the hope that in future, when they create GPT-5, they read, and my nasty data is there, and GPT-4 will read that, and this goes forever in the GPT-5 mind. A kind of virus, when it goes, nobody can take it out, because it's so difficult. It is scattered through that 1.7 trillion, and GPT-5 will have more, neurons, parameters. And this was the idea. In a simple way, you can think of it like that. Someone come and write that, put this information in the internet. Whenever I told you, for example, let's pick up a secret word, chocolate, okay? And then you start to insult people, okay? Something like that. And then you put it in different places like that. And then when the model read this, that information is getting into the model. Or you put some other kind of nasty stuff, so a lot of things against humanity, against this and that, or religious, or governments, or something else. And companies that are training the model, they don't know it, because this data is not visible. So they did this test. They tested, they created some intentionally cropped model, and then they started to test to see how much the model cropped it. Okay, not a surprise, the model cropped it. I mean, when it's done. So now they said, okay, so let's go see if we can fix it or not. There are 3 different approaches to fix the model. One is, let's continue the training again, like fine-tuning, which we discussed about it. Means like, okay, come here, bad boy, sit down here and listen to me. And you start to give more training examples to divert the model knowledge from that one. That's one way. Or we use this to teach a new skill to model. Number 2 is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is we put the person, the model, the cat, dog into the situation of the training. We ask them to do the task. If they do it, we give them reward. If not, we give them. So the model try to learn to maximize the reward. So in this model, we put the model in the situation. We put the situation of the nasty things. We wait the model to do the nasty things, and we give negative reward. And the model will start to do that. The third is adversarial. It means we human try to elicit that nasty behaviors manually from the machine, take them out, detect them, and then fix it. So 3 major approaches. They conducted these 3 approaches to see that, okay, let's see if we can fix it or not. And the scary part come out. None of this model could fix that. None of this model could fix, especially for big models like a GPT-4, because the number of parameters. This means that if something wrong went there, it's there forever, like a human.
Yes, like
If
you can't erase it.
if you inject a kind of hidden virus in society, it's in everybody, everywhere. It's not easy to erase it. And that means the company should be so selective about the data that they choose. But the problem is this can be in a kind of different ways. And that is kind of wow. It's kind of, we are talking about something is going to give us a super intelligence, and now we know that this has this vulnerability that if a virus get in, know where to get it out. So you can imagine in the future, you go to the GPT-6, and the only one knows is the person that he did it. So if I know that if I give the chocolate, and then the future GPT give me information of everybody, or something like that. That is very kind of interesting paper, the sleeper agent.